Welcome all sports fans, YouTubers, Facebookers, all social media across the nation. Uneducated Network on YouTube presents Uneducated Sports Talk. I'm your host, Carlos Clayton. And before we get down to our NFL Draft Day 1 review, please, if you haven't, like and subscribe to Uneducated Network and Uneducated Sports Talk, both on YouTube, to where you can see my show and many other shows on our channel. We are more than just a YouTube channel. We are a way of life. That being said, let's get on into it. We had our 2018 first round NFL draft. It was a good one. It was a great one from start to literally finish. We had Heisman Trophy winners, and we had just great trades and drama from start to finish, and that is what the draft is all about. Who would have thought just picking players from college would get everyone so hyped up? Over the last 25 years, it's been just ballistic, and that is only getting better, and the festivities are getting better. If you're watching this, yes, rounds 2 and 3 has passed through. I haven't watched it yet, but I will go watch it. I do a lot of work in these days, so I gotta do what I can. But with that being said, I'm excited. So let's get on into it. We had controversy from the start. We didn't know who was going to be the first overall pick. Josh Allen had his little tweets come out, which I thought wasn't all that bad. Maybe some GMs and some guys thought that 14 and 15-year-olds saying stuff is very harmful. I don't think that's harmful at all. So you didn't know who was going to be. Sam Darnold was a safe pick. Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, Josh Rosen, all those guys. And even we had Lamar Jackson talks somewhere mid between where's Saquon Barkley going, where's Bradley Chubb going. So everything was, intense. And when it came down to the final moments, the number one pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns selected Baker Mayfield, quarterback from Oklahoma, and I thought that was the right decision. And here's why. I said it from the beginning. Baker Mayfield is the best quarterback in here in this draft. He's the best quarterback. Now, I just truly believe in my heart that the Cleveland Browns are going to select Josh Allen because he's the prototypical quarterback, the big arm, AFC North. You want to play against the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens, and you see what they've done with their guys with big arms. They both won Super Bowls, Joe Flacco and Ben Roethlisberger. So I thought they were going that route. No, they made the conscious effort and say, you know what, we want the best quarterback. And I can care less about the Big 12 because I've seen Oklahoma play in big games. Do you know how many road games Baker Mayfield has won against non-conference opponents? I mean, we saw him this year in Ohio State. Beat Ohio State, which is a great defense. That same Ohio State team that made Sam Darnold look crazy. Yes, Sam Darnold threw for 400 yards in that game, but I mean, a couple interceptions, a couple fumbles. I mean, there you go. Baker Mayfield doesn't make mistakes. His college stats are crazy. His work ethic is crazy. His will to win is crazy. He's a winner. He's a winner. And he had a chance. He put up 48 points. 48 points on a Georgia team. SEC defense, right? And he put up 48 points. Yes, they lost the game because his other defense couldn't do nothing against Georgia. But it just tells you how good of a guy he is. I guarantee you Sam Darnold plays against Georgia. I guarantee you Josh Rosen plays against Georgia. They're getting stumped. Their teams are getting stumped regardless. Baker Mayfield's a winner. He knows how to come up big in big games. So I respect the Cleveland Browns for taking him number one. So number two, the New York Giants select Saquon Barkley. That was kind of a given. We kind of figured that, but with Darnold still on the board, you didn't know whether they're getting Saquon Barkley or Sam Darnold. Well, the GM for the Giants said, "Do not answer any phone calls. Don't do it." And I don't blame him. You have Eli Manning, and you know you're hoping that he gets better with time, like fine wine. You're hoping that Tom Brady, Drew Brees thing, because Eli's had a down couple years now, but this is they have faith. They want to get back to the old big blue kind of defense. When they ran the ball and they played defense. Now Saquon Barkley, and the NFL isn't more of a pound game anymore, but you can still be happy for them getting Saquon Barkley because he can do it all. He can catch out the backfield. He's a 3-down back, and he's a great pass blocker. I've seen him pass block, so he will not come out the game. That is a guy that, and he's a face of the franchise for at least the next 5 years. He's the face of the franchise. Clean record. Can't go no wrong with that. I don't blame him for passing him because, let's be honest, all these quarterbacks aren't a sure thing. There's no Peyton Manning in this draft. There's there's no Dan Marino in this draft, no John Elway, right? So if you pass up, I mean, you can find someone maybe next year, maybe the year after that. I'm not sure. But Saquon Barkley number two, I loved it to the Giants. Of course, number three, the New York Jets, who did not think Sam Darnold was going to be on here, but I really think that the New York Jets really wanted Baker Mayfield, and they really thought Baker Mayfield was going to be at three. Hell, I thought Baker Mayfield was going to be at three this whole entire time. I thought if Josh Allen went first, and you have between Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield, I guarantee you the Jets picked Baker Mayfield. But it did not happen. Everyone was shocked about that. And now the Jets get Sam Darnold, who I believe is their second option, but still a great option to have as your second option. He's going to fit right in. Josh McCown is going to train this guy and he's going to mold him how to be a great quarterback, how to at least prepare to be a quarterback in the NFL. So he fell into a perfect situation. If you're Sam Darnold, you couldn't be more happier. Now the New York Jets and the New York media is a whole different animal than sunny California. So he's got to be prepared for that. If you do make mistakes, they will let you know in a heartbeat. So now we had a number 4 pick. And we all thought the Cleveland Browns were going to take Bradley Chubb. They did not. They went with Ward instead. Denzel Ward, and that was kind of a head shocker to me a little bit because you mix Bradley Chubb with Myles Garrett, and they have a dynamic duo on the D line, and the D line makes the cornerbacks and safeties a whole lot better. But they figured Denzel, who was the best cornerback on here, so you can't really knock him that much. So hey, to each his own. They're still right there in quality. Best cornerback or the best DN. They already have Myles Garrett. They figured they need a cornerback. So, number 5, obviously the Denver Broncos were ecstatic when Bradley Chubb fell down to them. They're like, oh, yeah, let's take him. And Von Miller, if you haven't seen Von Miller, his reaction to the Broncos picking Bradley Chubb, check that out on YouTube or check it out somewhere because he is excited to have some help on that D-line. The Broncos are saying, we paid Case Keenum 2 years, $36 million. It's $18 million per year for those who don't do math. It's a lot of money for a quarterback who's not going to be the starter. Oh, he's going to be the starter, trust me. They want great defense, great special teams, and have an okay offense. And that what got them their Super Bowl a couple years ago with Peyton Manning. And they're hoping that they want to recreate that magic. Number 6, Indianapolis Colts. They select the best, I think the second best player in the draft, and Quentin Nelson, in my opinion. He is an animal. He's a beast. His parents don't have to move anywhere. He ain't got to go nowhere because, Indianapolis and Notre Dame are right there by each other. So, Quentin Nelson is a steal for the Colts. I do like that pick, to be honest. So, with that being said, Buffalo Bills, they trade up from 12 to 7. And they get Josh Allen, their quarterback, their franchise quarterback, big gun. The tweets he had at the age of 14 and 15, I'm not worried about that at all. That's dumb. Everyone was 14 and 15 tweeting dumb stuff. They just didn't do a good job of hiding it or throwing it away somewhere and putting it in the cloud, I guess. But Josh Allen going to the Bills, I like that. All these guys are not going to be starters. They'll be starters eventually, but like the first game of the season, maybe one person. I'll talk about him in just a second. So Josh Allen, he can sit back and relax because they're gonna have someone take his spot. He might be the only one to start because I don't really see anyone in Buffalo. I don't know who they really got, to be honest. That's in Buffalo. Still trying to think because they traded away Tyrod Taylor. They got somebody, but good luck with that. Raekwon Smith, the linebacker from Georgia, he goes to Chicago. He might be the next Brian Urlacher, Dick Butkus, something like that. Number 10, the Arizona Cardinals. They jump from 15 to 10 with the Oakland Raiders, and they go ahead and get their quarterback in the future, Josh Rosen. Josh Rosen was very ticked off, PO, that he was the 4th quarterback out of the Big 4, if you wanted to say that. If you want to put Lamar Jackson as a Big 5, he was number 4, and he felt like he should be number 1 or number 2, or number 3. So he made a comment that 9 teams made a mistake and passed him up, but then he came back the next day and said, I meant to say the 3 teams that chose quarterbacks over me, those teams are going to pay. So I was like, dude, like Chicago, San Francisco, Indianapolis, Denver, they're not really worried about getting quarterbacks, so why are you worried about them? But he changed his mind. And look, he's a competitor, and I don't mind that. He is very true to himself. I like a guy who's very honest than a guy who lies about, being humble. I don't like that. If you're honest, be yourself, and that's what Josh Rosen's doing, and I like it in my opinion. And then, Lamar Jackson. He goes number 32, the last pick in the first round, and fitting that Ozzie Newsome, who's going to be his last year as a GM for the Baltimore Ravens, so his last year making picks. Well, he chooses the kid from South Carolina, tight end, at number 25, and he backdoors to get Lamar Jackson at 32. Now you have your future. Now you already know Joe Flacco's on his last year. Lamar Jackson's going to get there either this year or next year. Flacco doesn't get hurt a lot. So he's going to probably play the whole entire year. But for sure, next year it's going to be Jackson's team where they put the offense around him. And we all heard of kind of, it's weird. We should have saw this coming. The Cleveland Browns get Tyrod Taylor. Who does Tyrod Taylor, what quarterback out of this draft reminds you of Tyrod Tayller? Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield and Tyrod Taylor is probably the same. Tyrod's probably a better athlete. Baker's probably the better ball handler, let's say that, or thrower. And that can be a great transition, an easy transition to where when Tyrod does get on the bench, or if they do get the reins to Baker Mayfield, because Tyrod Taylor isn't going to just give it to him. I guarantee you that. Tyrod Taylor isn't Josh McCown. He's not going to just like, hey, buddy, I know you're going to take my spot, so let's work on doing this and that. No. Tyrod Taylor's like, look, bro, you have to wait your turn. You have to earn taking my spot. But they play the same, and we should have saw that. They got Tyrod Taylor because they wanted an easy transition from Tyrod Taylor to Baker Mayfield. Play the same. Same thing with the Baltimore Ravens. We should have saw it coming. They pick up RG3 out the blue, like, whoa, why they get RG3? They had a plan. They said, we're getting Jackson. And they made sure they got Jackson in the first round to get that fifth-year option. So that was smart on their part, too. They went back up in the first round at 32 and got Jackson. They know that that's their future. RG3 can teach Jackson a few things in life, so we're down with that as well. So let's talk about a couple of, steals in the draft. A lot of teams were reaching for quarterbacks as usual. We knew that was going to happen. So just like last year, there's going to be kind of steals going on. So at number 11, Minka Fitzpatrick. I mean, in my opinion, he's the top 5 guy in this draft. But to go at my number 11, I thought he would have went a little bit higher up, maybe around like the 7, 8 mark. But Miami, for him to fall in their laps, that was perfect. Also, Buffalo, getting Josh Allen at first, and now you get Tremaine Edmonds. That guy's a beast. He was a top 10 guy. You get him at 16. That is beautiful right there. And he can pass rush. He can cover. He's going to be good. Buffalo had a really good draft, to be honest with you guys. At number 24, Atlanta Falcons. You all thought they were going with defense. No, they added another weapon. And Calvin Ridley. And I'm a Saints fan. I just like, bruh. We got to defend not only Julio, but now Calvin Ridley. That's going to be a great dynamic duo in the next couple of years. We would think so. So to get him being the second receiver taken out, it got to DJ Moore, I believe, was 24, and 26 was the Falcons. 24 was more, so 26. The Atlanta Falcons get Calvin Ridley. And I thought that was a really good pick because he is arguably the best wide receiver in the draft, and to get him at 26 was he fell right at that. They had no choice but to get him. And I also like Taven Bryan, the defensive tackle from Florida, at the 29th pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars. He goes to a perfect situation where the Jaguars are already stout on defense. And the one thing about his knock was he didn't give maximum effort every single play. Well, in Jacksonville with those big boys and how they run things down there, they're going to get maximum effort from that guy. And I've seen him. He has J.J. Watt's potential. I've seen his get up is amazing. It is nasty. And if Jacksonville just keep having that rotation, because they were just this close from beating the Patriots to go to the Super Bowl. This close. They're like, we can do this. We can do this. So I have all the faith that Jacksonville Jaguars will get it done, at least be competitive for a second year in a row. A lot of people won't see that, but I see that. And so those are all my great steals of the draft. Let's talk about a couple head scratchers in here. The biggest head scratcher for me, I don't get it at all. The Seattle Seahawks pick Rashad Penny. Nothing wrong with Rashad Penny, but Seattle had needs, offensive line and wide receiver or playmakers in the wide receiver area. And you go with a running back, yes, he's a big dude and you want to be physical. This is not the right time to get him. There's a Nick Chubb out there. There's Darius guys. Get someone in the second round. You needed someone who could protect Russell Wilson or someone that can catch for Russell Wilson. And they did not do any of that. They go to a running back who's probably a second or third round prospect at that. So his grade was probably more second, third round. I didn't like the fact that they got him in the first round. Rashad Penny is it's going to be a good running back, but Seattle's basically giving up, I guess. The Legion of Boom is now in the Legion of Gloom. It's sad to see how they're falling down so fast. I thought they would at least go defense somehow. Get one of those guys, but they need help offensively, and they need an O-line or a wide receiver, and they got Rashad Penny from San Diego State, so running back. We'll find out. Another one was kind of head scratching. No one's really talking about it because it's not that bad. But my New Orleans Saints, had the 27th overall pick, but we traded up with the Green Bay Packers to go number 14. Gave them a first round pick for next year. I'm not really that concerned because it will be the 32nd pick anyways because we're going to Super Bowl winning it. Anyways, Marcus Davenport they select from the University of Texas, San Antonio. Now, this kid is a beast. He's a beast. The knock on him is he's played in small competition, and I understand that. But, I mean, guys like that, you got like DeMarcus Ware with Detroit. You got guys like Demarcus Lawrence, who went to Boise State, which is a better area than University of Texas San Antonio. But we saw the numbers that he put up against his competition, and he just bulldozed people. And he's still raw, but you wonder why they gave up so much for him. Obviously, they know more than what we know. The Saints know. Their scout team is saying, "Hey, this guy is great. Pick him up." And as a Saints fan, I got to rock with it. So I'm not gonna knock him until I see him in action. Uh, Pittsburgh getting Terrell Edmonds, the brother of Tremaine Edmonds, at number 28. I just don't see him fitting with that team. They look, defense is their Achilles heel. I understand that, but I did not like the pick. I thought they could have got someone a little better. That's a cornerback. I thought they would have went with the kid from Iowa at cornerback, but they went with the strong safety, and hopefully he does well. Hopefully he does well. So I'm rooting for him, and his family is a great family, beautiful family. So I'm rooting for that family as well. Dallas getting Leighton Vander Esch. I didn't want him going with a receiver, that was fine. Be who you are, and they need a defense. Hopefully they get it right. I'm not sure, but I don't see the kid as being this physical beast that they said. A lot of he's a combine warrior. Well, a lot of those guys look good. We all prepare for the combine. It's all about what you do in the field now. And he didn't really made me feel that good. But hey, I'd rather them take him than take Calvin Ridley because they needed help on defense very bad. I thought they would have went somewhere in the secondary again. But hey, it's the Cowboys, and as long as they suck, I'm fine with it. So, also, Vita Vea going to Tampa Bay. Vita Vea, no knock on him because I think he is a stud. Tampa Bay did not need him. Tampa Bay has so many issues in the secondary. It's amazing. They passed up on so many guys. They had two chances to get Derwin James. Oh, by the way, who was the biggest steal? I'm sorry, I just missed him. Derwin James is the biggest steal. That makes sure, yeah, of the draft. Going to the Chargers at number 17 when he was easily a top 10 pick, easily. Tampa Bay had him a chance to get him twice and missed on him twice. They need help in the secondary bad, and they did not go get it. They got Vita Vea, who's still be good, but I mean, you have other needs in the secondary, big needs, big time needs in the Tampa Bay. So I didn't like that pick. And another pick I don't like, Carolina getting DJ Moore at 24. I didn't like that. Now he's still gonna be good, but Carolina, like, he's small. Not saying small is a bad thing, but they already got so many small receivers. What I do like about DJ Moore is he's a running back when he catches the ball. That yak yards after catch, that is going to be nasty. But I thought Carolina needed help on defense, and I thought Carolina needed help on the O line to protect Cam Newton. I would have went somewhere else besides wide receiver. Now, there's no knock on DJ Moore because he is a stud. I do like him. I'm just knocking where he's going. That's to Carolina. So those are kind of head scratchers to me. Overall, it was a pretty good draft. Baker Mayfield, in my opinion, is the best quarterback, and Cleveland took the best quarterback. Now, I feel for Baker Mayfield because he is going to Cleveland. But with his attitude and the way he carries himself as the guy, he wants to change around Cleveland's fortunes, and I do believe him that he would change around Cleveland's fortune. I think the person with the best, you know, two of them, Josh Rosen going to Arizona, that was a great fit for him. We got Larry Fitzgerald as your wide receiver, and you got some veteran players over there. And I also like uh, Sam Darnold going to New York. I mean, you got who doesn't want to be benefited by learning from Josh McCown? He's one of the rare quarterbacks who's the backup guy who just knows he's going to have his spot taken pretty soon, but he wants to help out and he wants to be a coach when it's all said and done. So I love him for that. Overall, this draft in the first round was amazing. I mean, you had a Heisman Trophy at number one, Heisman Trophy winner at number 32. So that just tells you how good this draft was. So many trades going up, so many guys falling back, and you can't really blame them. Rounds 2 and 3 are going to be crazy. And I know you guys have probably seen it already. I'm going to watch it myself and see what's going on. And I'll come back tomorrow with my rounds 2 and 3 review as well. And I'll break down everything with the draft. So I'm having a blast. And also, next episodes, I will talk about Game 6 of the Cleveland Cavaliers and Indiana Pacers and Game 6 of the Utah Jazz and Oklahoma City Thunder. So we'll talk about all that as well. The playoffs the first round is just about over with, almost on to the second round. So I know that in Game 7, we'll talk about Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics as well. So That being said, please, guys, like, subscribe to Uneducated Network and Uneducated Sports Talk, both on YouTube. This is Uneducated Sports Talk. It's presented by Uneducated Network. I'm your host, Carlos Clayton. As always, sports fans, you know what time it is. Stay smart, stay uneducated. Peace. See you guys for the drafts 2 and 3.